Hello everyone, my name's Doc, your host for all things healing, and I apologize for the hiatus from the series, but welcome back to another episode of Healer Skill Spotlight, the series where we take a look at the good, the bad, and the broken things about every healing skill in the Elder Scrolls Online. In this episode, we'll be taking a look at the Necrotic Orb skill, as well as its morphs, Mystic Orb, and especially Energy Orb. Let's just get right into this. Now, this is going to be a pretty interesting and possibly shorter episode of Healer Skill Spotlight because up to now we've been covering skills that almost exclusively heal, and maybe there's the occasional morph that's better for damage dealers or for tanks. In this rare instance, we'll actually be taking a look at a skill that's a DPS skill at base, and only one out of the two morphs are actually made for healers. As we always do, let's start with the base skill, Necrotic Orb. This is a skill found in the Undaunted skill line, and when you cast it, the orb will slowly move forward for 10 seconds, dealing damage to nearby enemies. For us healers, though, the most impactful part of the skill is the synergy that it provides. Called the Combustion Synergy, when being activated by an ally, it releases a burst of damage and restores a large amount of magicka or stamina to the ally that activates it. The nicest thing about this synergy, though, is that even though it does have a 20-second cooldown, it can be activated by multiple different allies. This means that a well-placed orb can, in fact, restore resources to an entire trial group every 20 seconds. Another fun fact, or I guess not so fun fact, about the Combustion Synergy is that it actually shares a cooldown with the Luminous Shard skill synergy from the Templar's Adric Spear skill line. Hence why you might see me use shards when I'm healing in dungeons instead of orb. Now, I don't really have any firm opinions on Necrotic Orb as a base skill because I just never really use the base skill. Since the Energy Orb morph changes the skill completely and it's much better for healers, Necrotic Orb pretty much only exists for us healers for around 3 minutes while we level it enough to morph it into Energy Orb. However, before I move on to Energy Orb, I actually do want to talk about the Mystic Orb morph because I do actually have some opinions on that one. So, Mystic Orb. The morph simply adds health, stamina, and magicka recovery while the Necrotic Orb is active. I'll be honest, I don't know who this morph is actually supposed to be for. Firstly, 100 recovery in all 3 attributes is nice, but I don't think it's going to be all that impactful for a few reasons. For healers, there's just no reason to take this morph over Energy Orb. I mean, maybe if you're doing a hybrid build for dungeon healing, this could be nice, but even then, I'd probably just use Luminous Shards instead if doing more damage and having a better skill line is my goal. For tanks, the recovery can be nice, I guess, but tanks should be prioritized as the ones getting the synergy, not giving it, and you can't activate your own orb synergy. For DPS, the damage can certainly be substantial, but there are better options for damage, and the synergy is already going to be provided by healers. And look, I totally understand that not every skill needs to be this meta-defining thing, but I don't know, it just seems like a strange design choice. Maybe it could do something like provide weapon and spell damage or allow you to activate your own synergy or something like that. I think I remember that it used to actually just deal more damage, which I think would still be better for Orb than this, Either way, though, let's move on to the main topic of today's video, Energy Orb. So, this morph changes the skill quite a bit. Instead of damaging enemies, it now heals allies. That also means that the Combustion Synergy now releases a burst of healing rather than damage, and the orb moves significantly faster. This is one of those bread and butter healer skills that you'll see talked about in pretty much every healing build you can find out there. Obviously, the Combustion Synergy is still there, it's still useful, and now it provides a nice little burst heal, or several, if your teammates are hitting their synergy button, every 20 seconds or so. I do think, though, that the actual healing per second that the skill does isn't talked about enough. This is a moving AoE heal that can cover a full trial team and ticks every single second. Based on my own logs that you can see on screen right now, Energy Orb is up there in my top healing skills, only being beaten out by, Sticky Heals or Extended Ritual. Once upon a time, years and years and years ago, you could actually cast more than one orb at a time. I'm sure a lot of you watching will remember that meta. If you could spam orbs and chug potions, you were dominating content as a healer. Despite that change though, Orb has remained a fantastic skill to this day, and I'm sure it goes without saying that there really isn't any place where you wouldn't want this skill. Dungeons, trials, honestly, I even think Orb is a decent skill for PvP healing too. It's just an all-around strong heal with a fantastic synergy, and you'd be hard-pressed to find a veteran healer not running this skill. So, in conclusion, Necrotic Orb and Mystic Orb are fine skills because the combustion synergy they can provide is an incredibly useful sustain tool for your allies, but especially for your tanks. Energy Orb takes it to a new level by providing insanely strong healing per second that can cover an entire trial team. When you pair that healing with the combustion synergy's utility, Energy Orb cements itself as an exceptional healing ability that every single healer should keep on their skill bar because they would be doing themselves a disservice by not taking advantage of this phenomenal skill. And that was everything we had to cover for this episode of Healer Skill Spotlight. As always, I hope you enjoyed the video and found it useful. Don't forget to check out the link in the description so you can follow me on stuff and join my Discord server. Before we head out, I also want to give a quick shout out to my Patreon supporters as well as my YouTube members. Thank you guys for being so awesome, and your support means so much. I think all I've got left to say is that I've been Doc. Take care of yourselves, be good to others. Don't forget that you are worth it, and I will catch y'all in the next one.